So it's been a while, so some people might not remember what is a short squeeze, what is a shorts, but let's recap. The point of the stock market is that companies now, when they need some money, they'll release their parts of their ownership of their company, and then you'll invest in them, you'll buy some stocks, and that helps the company be able to use your money to build. But now shorts is where these hedge funds and these people are greedy, and they're gonna say the company's gonna go down, so they'll buy shorts saying that the company's going to go down. And the more shorts they're buying, the more it's looking like the company's not good. Because why would people want to buy a company when it's heavily shorted? So even if companies should be shorting a company in the first place, is an ethical argument. But for now, back in 2021, we did this with GameStop. Now we're seeing it with Beyond Meat. So with Beyond Meat, we can even see here. So with Beyond Meat, we can even see here that it's going crazy. It started off at like, let's say $0.5. So you can see my portfolio in the last 24 hours, it's made like £400. Bear in mind, yesterday I made some and I've even sold some. So it's like, what was I going to show you? Yeah, Beyond Meat, it's like in one day, 322%. And it's after hours, and it started off, where are we? Like, if you look at 1 month, it started off here like $0.5 in on Thursday, Friday, $0.5, and then now look where it's going, nearly a 10x. And this is why some people are saying $5 they're done. But bear in mind, for those talking about the fundamentals, if we had to look at the fundamentals of Beyond Meat, it's not necessarily that you would argue and say that this is something that should be have ever been in should have been a penny stock, because the fact this company is still, let me see if I can show you, this company still is making, let's see, Beyond Meat financials, this company still makes 300,000. So whether it should even be so here, if we look at the financials in their last statistics, in their last report, they were making profit. So here in their last report, it was easy of financials here. So in their last report, they made a gross profit of 41,000. Previously, so remember from 2021, this is a plant-based company, and people will say they weren't liking the taste of it, and it was for vegans and stuff. So the idea was good, but then people won't stop liking it. So they was making money during COVID or near the end of COVID, and they stopped making money, and they've had so much debt. So, but they now have been trying to sort out their debt, and now they're making a profit. So to argue, there's an argument for that this fundamentals technically is good. The fundamentals how the company's stocks and books are looking. So you could argue that actually they're turning things around. So it's not just like some meme stock where it's just the community are driving it, because this is how the short squeeze also works. The fact that these hedge funds have bought all these shorts, but retail investors like us were holding on. The more we hold on, then hedge funds eventually will have to cover their shorts. And by covering their shorts, that means they have to buy the same stock that they didn't want it to go up. And by buying it, that means the price will go up even more, because that loop of people buying and not selling kind of thing. But let's look at this thing that will help explain it with Yahoo terms. A short squeeze explained. Short squeeze. What is it? Here. So short squeeze is a rapid and sharp increase in a security's price, which forces investors who had bet against it, short sellers, to buy the stock back to cover their losses. This collective buying pressure further drives the price up, creating a feedback loop that can lead to substantial losses for short sellers and quick gains for others like us. Short selling, an investor borrows shares of a stock and sells them, betting the price will fall. The goal is to buy the shares back later at a lower price to return to the lender, pocketing the difference. But the unexpected rise of the stock price instead starts to rise. Short sellers begin to lose money. So covering the short to limit their losses, short sellers are forced to buy the stock back, a process called covering their short. So the squeeze now is the sudden high demand for these shorts. Sellers buying back shares pushes the price up even faster, which in turn forces more short sellers to buy to cut their losses. Examples, GameStop 2021. And if we look at GameStop, because this is one we done back in the day as well. So GameStop, I think it started off at like $2, and it went in its all-time high to like $80. Let's see, GME. And then now it's resting, still after all those years, it's resting at $20. So essentially, there's a potential for even this company here to take this momentum and no longer have the stock returning to half a cent, half a dollar, I mean. Because let's see GameStop. So if we look here, all of this part here, this is where it was. If we look back 2021, it was at these prices here, 2020. Then all the short squeeze and short selling, because this time they were closing down. The hedge funds said, oh, we're going to bet against them. They're going to be bankrupt and stuff. And then this is what happened. But when retail hold on to the numbers and say, well, we're not going to sell, we're going to buy, this is what can happen. So this is why I like the short squeeze, because it's that fight against these hedge fund people that you can argue why they even betting against companies saying it's going to sell. It's gonna bankrupt. The point of the stock market is not for you to be bet against companies, and then essentially you're making them get bankrupt more because you're buying so much short, saying that they're gonna sell, they're gonna go bankrupt. So it's interesting. This BYND now, the same potential. So the same potentials here. Look, in 2 days, it's nearly done a 10x on their price, and this is even before all these shorts are being covered. So how this story finishes, we shall wait to see. But you can follow the YouTube. You can follow me on different medias, TikTok, Instagram, JTLE Records. And I'm not really only talking about investing, but there's so much things going on. Let's see. So goodbye. God bless.